We've gone from mining these amazing metals that we so successfully sell and market, which are then really linked to not only improving the environment, but also, as you know, through healthcare, and also more importantly, the value that they create for South Africa as a country, given that platinum group metals, around about 80% of all platinum group metals are mined here in South Africa. The resources are extensive here in South Africa, similar sort of percentage, and they're mined here, processed here, beneficiated here to final product, and then sold on a global stage. And I'm really, really delighted and super, super proud to be able to show sort of the next version of where PGMs can be used in fuel cell electric vehicles. And today, partnering with Toyota, partnering with Bosch, Sasol, Air Products, it's fantastic here to be able to showcase the Toyota Mirai transporting delegates to the B20, and really then showing how we can utilize inclusive growth to really change the world on a global stage. And as we think together with our partners around certainly creating new markets for PGM so that we can continue to grow its uses, really demonstrate how amazing the metals are, but more importantly then how we then look to create value from the metals that we mine here in South Africa. You've still got quite elevated levels of PGMs in current fuel cell design, but people are in the process of reducing those over time. But that really is part of the catalyst in terms of how the fuel cell is worked. There's zero emissions from a hydrogen fuel cell, which is really incredibly important as we look towards decarbonising the world and trying to address global warming. We feel very confident and expect that because of the energy mix and the requirement for us to decarbonise, the role for hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles, there will be a role for them to play, and there's definitely then a role for PGMs in that particular application.
The Air Product role in the concept of green hydrogen and the mobility is basically supplying the technology. We also supply the molecules from the source, which is then produced in Sasol. We are the distributor of hydrogen, the largest in the country, including our pipeline, the fleet of tube trailers. And we have now brought in a technology that we can refuel vehicles, which is mobile. I think you guys have seen it here. We see this as the future of energy, especially in a developing country like ours, with a lot of renewables, a lot of abundant renewables where we can produce this green hydrogen. And it also gives us an opportunity to expand as businesses into that field. We are putting all the effort for us to be able to get to a point where we say we are all comfortable as a country that we are pushing this good enough for us to make it into the bigger players in the hydrogen space.
We have to promote carbon neutrality and alternative way of decarbonizing mobility. I think we talk about passenger vehicles. Hydrogen is under threat, a lot of criticism, but the technology that's in the vehicle is what we are promoting. That's what we're doing. We're promoting the technology and the capability. And in the background, we do have our own developments that you'll see in the coming months and years. But that's why we do starting with this now, that people understand what's coming.
When we looked at putting this demonstration together, what we wanted to showcase was the true worth that South Africa has to offer to the green economy, as well as to the green energy transition. And we wanted to capture everything all across the value chain, all the way from raw material supply to end use, where someone can go and actually get something that can be used in day-to-day life. And that's really what Mine to Market is about. How do we take our raw materials, and in this particular case, our critical raw materials, which is our platinum group metals, how do we beneficiate that, whether that's locally or globally, but how do we ensure that these raw materials are processed in a way that is creating new technology, so really creating innovation, and how do we then ensure that this innovation has got a sustainable end market. And in order to be able to do that, we fully understood that it has to be done in partnership, and that is the partnership banner that you see behind me. It's all of the different partners all across the hydrogen value chain that creates an ecosystem.